Hello everyone. I see that 70 people are waiting already. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so what do we have in the chat? Will you upload the stream? I'll be sleeping most likely. I'll see. Maybe I'll leave the link public, or maybe I'll just unlist it. But if you have the link, you should be able to watch the live stream, unless something really bad is gonna go on. Okay. Okay, someone's not gonna be sleeping at this time, I guess. Okay, cool. Will 3D have any combat? Probably, yes. Probably add some combat in 3D. Beers. Okay, so let's go for sure. So I have not looked into what I'm going to be using. How's the sound? The sound should be good, I think, for the RPG. So this can be a 2D RPG, but I just looked at some Kenny assets. The reason why I'm using Kenny assets is because then I can have them in my project. So for the Kenny assets, we have this pack, asset pack that we can use, which is like a urban. Will it have multiplayer? Will it have multiplayer? For multiplayer, I think. Let me think. Yeah, probably some basic multiplayer stuff. I think I'll add into the package. But okay, so this is a pack we have, and there is some characters there. But I'm thinking of going more towards something with grass look. So maybe use this package, but there's not that much here as well. We'll see. We'll start with just the grass and yeah. So let's download this tile. Then there's another one, another package. So this is indoors. I don't know if we're gonna do the indoors, and this is of low resolution, so we can do that as well. But no, I'll start with this one, and then for the character, I think for the character there is another one that I was thinking is gonna work better. I think it has a little bit more resolution to it, so I'm gonna use this character right here. Looks like some kind of Mario or something like that, and it's for this style top-down moving around cubes, boxes. So let's get started. Let's get this as our character. Okay, so that's the packet assets that I'm gonna use. Let's go to 2D RPG and we'll create a new scene. 2D RPG. I wish I could have used the assets that I actually had on that thumbnail. I did test using those. Let me see if I have the test. I actually do. So when I was actually testing a while back, I actually used those assets. Let's play and see what we have for that. But I mean, didn't do that much with RPG. By the way, right off the bat, if someone has requests like what you want to see in this RPG. What will you want to see me to, like, mechanics wise, to implement in the RPG? Write them that in the chat, and I'll try to pick some of those and create them in this live stream. So this is what I had, and yeah, the graphics are beautiful. I actually like them. They're pretty good. I like this kind of style, but these are not in public domain, so I can't really, I mean, I can use it, but I can't share it with you guys afterwards. And the whole goal is to be able to add the project to the package that I have available already. So this is our start. Let's go find our assets. How's everyone doing, by the way? I guess everyone is doing very good. Very good. So let's create a folder for our sprites. Sprites. And we'll need some grass tiles. Let's add those in. Let's add those in. Good. Dungeon crawler. Is that the type of a dungeon crawler RPG style game? Yeah, we can do something like that. Oh, okay, doing great. That's good. You play Club Penguin? Nope, haven't played Club Penguin. Let me check out what that is. Nope, haven't played that. I was looking for a problem 3 hours, and the problem was a parentheses. Yeah, those problems are really hard to solve when they're pretty simple. But if you use IntelliSense or autocomplete, it should show you where that error. I mean, if you're just missing one parenthesis somewhere, it should show you where the error is. Hi, what model you use for this project? Module. So I'm going to be using Bolt, but I also use the unit collections that I have. So the units that I've built for Bolt, and there's a whole bunch of them right here. We'll get to see them a little bit more, but there's a link in description. You can find it if you want to grab it, but check it out to see if that's something you're interested in, like how it works. And I'm constantly adding new units to it, so these projects are meant to help me with that. So all the new things that I discover that need new units, I just create those, add it to the collection, and all of that. Okay, so I got the tiles. Now let's get a tile. I don't think I have a tile map. So let's go and import the tile map, package manager. Tile map editor, we'll install that. A Zelda-like Link of the Past. Yeah, there is a project on YouTube, like a Zelda style type of game, and I actually used it once for one of the tutorials. One of the tutorials, I think it was the pickup logic. Someone asked me to create the pickup logic for the jar to pick it up and then toss it. So this one right here. Okay, that's not the one, but this one. So I actually used this project in this demonstration, but we're not going to be using that package. Okay, we got the tile map, and we can start creating our tiles. Now, where are they? Rendering. There we go. Tile palette. That's what we're looking to create. Okay, let's check the chat. Just found Bolt like 5 minutes ago. Well, yes. It's probably, if you're just starting, I'll probably go with using Unity 2021 and start using that with Bolt. It's called visual scripting. I mean, they renamed it and they built it into Unity 21. But if you're just starting with Bolt, then I would go with the new Unity version, because of there's not much changes. I mean, I did mention already on my channel that they have added. Let me create a palette. They added the ability for new input system, but that's not really important. The important part that they're going to be continuing improving the version, the Bolt version for the 2021. I don't think they're. Seems like they're stopping the upgrades for the 2020 version and 2019 version, because the 2021 version is Bolt at 1.5. And the Bolt version that I'm using for the 2020 version is actually 1.4. So let's this can be our map. I'll just call it map. Create. We'll store it in. Let's create a new folder. Tile map. Should be lowercase tilemap, select folder. Okay, and wait, what settings? I didn't even look what settings I choose for automatic rectangle. Okay, so we should be good. Okay, so let's add some tiles assets here. Okay, because I started the project as a 3D project. I have to manually switch it to sprite 2D units all the time now. Okay, now I need the texture size. Apply. I need the texture size. Where's my preview? So there's 64 by 64, and to make it easier to work with tile maps, we want to set pixels per unit 64, so that each tile is going to cover 1 unit. Okay, let's add these tiles in. Okay, seems, why is it adding 4? Let's add 2 at a time. Oh, looks like it's adding. Okay, I will just add 1 at a time. That's not going to be fun. No, what happened there? Why do I have what? Oh, okay, accidentally. Okay, move it to the tilemap. And this one, save. Okay, this is not gonna work. Okay, let's add. It would have been easier if we used. Just trying to arrange him in a way that I can. Okay. So that's our grass tile. Okay, let's stop with that for now. I'll add this tile right here. Tile map, save. What do we have in chat? Hello, welcome to the stream. Does Bolt have less or to offer than regular C# scripting? Like, does it has less options? So it has, like, it's always hard to answer that question. Like, it depends, like, what you mean by options. Options of what you can do with games, or options in the coding. Like C#, like you have basically the coding aspect of it, meaning that you can create your classes, then you can use dots or. So in short, yeah, C# has more options, but in terms of like creating games and accessing the components, like you can do all of that with Bolt, but for like advanced stuff, like advanced coding, like in creating classes and then creating your own architecture of how your game works. I think with C# it's actually a little bit easier. I mean, you can use super units in Bolt for like to make your own architecture in Bolt, but it's not that doesn't give you as much power as you have with C# to create your own architecture for your game. But let's create actually I just need to create a tile map. So 2D object tile map, and we're looking for a rectangle. Okay, so let's go to our scene and let's, okay, now I've done it. Okay, exit to edit mode. We'll select these tiles and I want to, okay, not what I'm looking for. Okay, let's paint some kind of, oops. Okay, I guess I can't. Yeah, I didn't import those. I need those edges in. Okay. And we need those corners in now. Okay, so the corners are right here. That's one. Your voice is deep. Yeah, it's morning right now, so my voice still didn't warm up yet. Can we play this game when it's finished? Yeah, I think so. I don't know when it's gonna be finished, but you can definitely play when it's finished. We can definitely make that happen. Okay, so we got a loop there. Let's get some grass going. We can add some other, like a lake and stuff later, but let's just get something real quick going here and move to something else, like adding the character. Okay, so let's add some more road. Whoops, whoops, whoops. It's night on me, and it's morning for you. Yep, it's morning for me. Well, my day is just beginning. So that's why I decided to do something exciting like this live stream. Okay, we'll need to repair that. Let's fix it right away. And so I still haven't got any like requests for what type of mechanics you want me to build here today for this RPG. Okay, so I would love if you showed how to make a system that saves tile maps and how to load different tile maps levels. Thanks for awesome content always. So tile maps, like I just showed how to create that tile map right there, and if you want to save it, you can just so either you can just save the whole grid and just drag it in here and make a prefab, and then you can load that prefab if you want for a different level. That's one option, or you can actually save the tile map itself and like load it inside the grid. It depends. Like usually with the experience that I had, I have multiple tile maps inside of a grid because some of them have collision shapes on, and then I have multiple levels. Although you could create all of that in just one tile map, but I find it easier for me to actually use multiple tile maps. That way I know exactly where is what. I guess just the loading part of it, maybe that's what you're... Okay, I just used the wrong one. Okay, so I think we'll be good with that. Let's go to our sprite. Maybe I really want to add some water. Let's actually add some water. Make it a little bit more interesting. So I'll add the water with not. Yeah, let's add this one right here. Let's try adding them all in. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see if it's gonna add them in correctly. Select folder. Yes, there you go. That's much better. And I think we can resize it for it to... Actually, no, it doesn't. Okay, actually, no, it does right there. So we can quickly add the other ones as well. The same approach. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Yes, guess let's overwrite. It's overwriting that one. Let's remove it, edit, delete. Okay, what else we have in chat? Something can't. Okay, nice, you can do it. I literally was talking with a friend the other day about doing something like this. Then I look up in some basic tutorials and found that your other stuff. Then happened to see your live stream. Yes, welcome to the live stream. Okay, great. Hello, I was looking for, I found in your channel. Everything I was looking for, I found in channel. Well, that seems like you're doing Bolt stuff. Pretty cool. Yeah, like if there's any request for some videos, be sure to write those on the Discord. There's a channel that I have for video requests. So I usually take a look at those and make some videos from there. Hi, I would love to, like a turn-based tactic role-playing battle system. Turn-based. I have not tried any turn-based actually games to make turn-based with Bolt. That's one thing that I haven't tried yet. Definitely should get some time to do that. Okay, so let's try adding these. I think we should add them in the right order. See if they're gonna add correctly as well. Okay, so it seems like if you select a square of them, it actually places them correctly. That's good to know. Let's add them, edit it, move it, so that we have everything aligned. And the last one we need is this one. Looks like there's some grass variation here. If you want to add some grass in there, but well, let's actually add that in, and then I'll know that I have all of the tiles in here. Okay, so that's all the tiles. And it's gonna bother me that I have that extra space. It's not perfect, so I'll just move it here. There you go. Okay, I think we're good. Let's add some pawn right here. And then something longer here. There we go. Okay, so enough of that, because you can spend a whole day just designing levels, but let's go and try to add a character in. Get this tile map. Let's put it in a folder. So we'll add these tiles. Let's put them in a folder. Okay, so time for a character. So I'll add a character folder for our character. There. Something like that. Okay. Will this later be free? So currently, it's the whole package and the project that I'm adding this this project to as well is in early access, and it's not free. And the full version is going to be it's not going to be free for the full version. Maybe once it's going to be out in the release, I might do a light version of all the units or something like that and make that one free. So like, I guess for those that want to try it out before buying it, then I'll have something available for those people. So that's because I'm building out this these collection of units, and the whole goal is actually the units that I'll be using, and it's just the work that I put into these units that I decided to share with you guys. But yeah, turn-based be easy with state machine. Yeah, state machine will be really helpful for turn-based. Is there a way to make the middle grass tile randomized so it's not a perfect pattern? Never try to access the actual tiles and overwrite them randomly, but I mean, you can create your random pattern. So like, for instance, if you want to randomize your middle tile, you can create a you can go to edit mode and then create, let me use this one right here. So we can create a tile. I forgot how to select. Okay, control, and then you can select the other variation of those tiles and drop them in, and that way you have like a randomized block, and you can use it to, did I select it? Yeah, it did. And then you can use it inside here, and that's going to use the randomized pattern now. So you can see that, but it still repeats. You can make a bigger random pattern, but that's a way you can do that. Okay, I'm gonna say I hope that this video will be in your channel. Yep. So if it's not gonna be public, I might have it unlisted, and you can always find it on. By the way, I forgot to post it on Discord. On Discord, I usually leave it under our videos. So the links are left there. Let me post a link to the live stream. Forgot about it. I have a whole bunch of chats and Discord that I didn't get around to, so sorry if you're one of the people that are waiting, but I'll get to those after the stream. Don't want to get this too distracted during the stream. Okay, so I got that link out. It seems I missed a lot. Now we'll just start it. Only level design. Great. Appreciate it. Okay. So we all caught up. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Who's joining? Okay. So now we are at the character. So for the character, I decided to go with that. Mario, I guess, style character. So let's add those styles in. So that's what we have for the character. It's going to be sprite, apply. Okay, so this is our okay, so I want to check the size of, for some reason it's not showing me the, oh, okay, looks like the preview was minimized. So 128 pixels. So our character has 128. Let's apply. Make sure that our character is 1 unit as well. Okay, so the pivot is centered. I'll leave it centered for now, but I might go for bottom middle. But let's see if there's going to be something that we're going to need for this type of game. Okay, so now we can build out some animations. So this is the idle. Okay, I'm not sure what we have here. Because there's two characters here. Okay, so one is with outline and the other one is without. So I think I need the one with the outline, because since my grass is green. Okay, undo. Yeah, I think the one with the outline looks better. Okay, so let's use these for our animation. So this is going to be idle, and this two are going to be for walk animation. So let's add that in. Walk. Forward. Or it's that, well, let's just use forward facing, so just walk forward. Character, we'll put it here. Okay, so this is going to be our character. Or player. character, player, whatever. Okay, now I'll have to build out those animations. So let's go to animation editor and get some of those animation. Select the character, create new clip. This is can be walk back. Create another. Walk right. Walk left. So this is the idle one, and these are 2 for walking. I'm gonna have to fix that a little bit later. Okay, let's add at least one idle. Let's add idle forward and idle forward. This one. Okay, so I think we're good here, except for these 4. I actually have to go. Okay, so for these 4, I'll need to turn them to a loop. Okay, looks like they are looping, and this one we don't need loop time. Okay, sounds good. Oh, forgot about chat. Okay, so hi, I've not touched 2D for quite some time. Yeah, I guess 2D does take some time. Like for instance, for the animation, like you have to import all these, create all the animations. In 3D, you just have already animations pre-built, and you just modify it just modifies the model that you use, so it's easier in that sense. And I've heard like from people saying that 3D is actually way much easier to make, because 2D is more about art, I guess, and trying to use this 2D space to create an interesting and fun game. But I think it 2D is probably, coding wise, and writing the script is probably easier, because you don't have to worry about another axis. So you're just moving all the position and everything is just on 2 axes. So for coding wise, that might be easier to do, but I don't know. Okay, so we got our character. Now let's get our animator. I've mentioned that before in, so there are some parameters that I use, and they're integers. So I have parameters that I use. Just what I went with is move horizontal and move vertical. So that's two supports, and it depends which preset you're using. Those are just included in the are used in the presets. And based on these parameters, we actually can switch between in this top-down RPG style in game. We can actually use those movements to decide which one to use. So from any state, and the only one thing that I need to decide here is what will be the which direction, because I only have 4 directions. So if you're moving diagonally, I have to decide which one to use, and I think I'll use, for diagonally, I'll use the right and left movements. We can change it if we want. Okay, so the starting is going to be, the default state is going to be this idle state, and then you'll also, since we don't have any other states currently, we'll transition to this state if both move H and move horizontally and move vertically are both are 0. We're going to move it here. Otherwise, if we're moving right, in fact, I don't think I even need a move left, because I've actually, if you're moving horizontally, it flips it, but it might not work if your character is looks different on one side than the other one. But I think this character is pretty symmetrical on both sides. So let's just use the right, move right for both of them. So in here we're going to check if move horizontal is not equal 0, and for these, so we're going to move forward and move back. So forward if vertical is greater, actually it should be less, because we're moving down, so it's going to be less than 0, then we're going to move forward, and then right, yes. And then for this one, if vertical is greater than 0, we're going to move back. I think I got them correctly, and I'll leave out the walk left right now, because I think we should be covered by the flipping of our renderer. Really earning sprite animation. Yeah, if you that's the things, like if you don't use some of the features, you kind of forget about them. Since there's a pond, we need to fish. That's a good one right there. Yeah, fishing. We can add fish into this. I don't know if I can find some fishes, but we'll definitely take a look at that. That's a good idea. I'm creating a 2D game right now. Great. Hopefully this is gonna help you out somehow. Do you use blend trees? So for this case, I mean, I don't know if there's any point of using a blend tree. Simpler would be simpler. But yeah, I mean, I can take a look at using, if you guys think using a blend tree. Okay, so I'm gonna just leave the setup like this. And why do I have animation store? Okay, close it. Hello, welcome to stream. We have some people joining. Okay, so we got our character animation, and now let's go and try to add a flow machine. So I'm just going to use a flow machine. Now I'm going to start with using a state machine right now. Okay, so we'll use the vertical preset. If I can find it. Preset. Let's look at the preset. So move a vertical preset. And we're not following rotation. Just leave it as default. And then also, let's look at the other preset, horizontal. Save the scene and let's test it out. Make sure we can move around. Okay, I didn't. And there's some transition time that I left, so I have to remove those. And the animation speed is real fast. There's looks like for front I'm using the idle animation instead of actually the other animation. So let's do those fixes. So for speed, let's start with half. Actually, yeah, also let's start with half. It might be, I don't think we have some fixed duration. Make sure have 0 and self transition. Those need to be turned off because it's going to be going. There's no point. Okay, can self transition? Nope. Okay. Can self transition. Gotta unset those values. And I think. Okay, then the speed half. Can you make a series to make a simple 3D game for beginners? Thank you very much. So what's wrong with forward? So the animation's still a little bit too fast. The animation is still too fast. And we need to check the forward animation. Something's up with it. Walk forward. Let's see what sprites we're using here. Okay, so this one, I think, yeah, that's the one that I have it incorrect. So this one should be used instead. There we go. So the 3D game, the simple 3D game. I mean, if you watched Keep the Tractor Going, I think that one's pretty simple. But I know I have like several parts that are like missing because I started when I started I did cover all of the. Okay, I think that's much better. Okay. So our forward and back animation need to be fixed. On the side, that's a good time, but I might have missed it. Okay, so walk right is 0.2. Walk back. Interesting. Why is walk back so fast? And walk front is too slow. Oh, we have different lengths for it. Okay, front is 12 frames. $60 frames. Where can I change the speed playback? I'm not sure. Okay, so but let's just, so if it's 12, that means then it means I can leave it at 1. But I'm thinking actually for the beginner tutorial request, I'm thinking of actually making another one, because the Unity 2021 version is out, and just use that version too. And okay, so there's one problem I see already, that I have not used the outlined version for the walk sides. Okay, and should slow down the okay, I'll just, yeah, I think that's good enough. But yeah, the left, where is it, the right animation, let's use the outlined version as well. So I need this one, select the character, and we need walk left, right, and we're looking to use this one and this one. So I'm thinking of making another beginner tutorial and try to cover all the parts using the Unity 20. I just messed it up. Using the Unity 2021 version. So that is on my list. I'm thinking already of what type of game to make. So that should be a project that I'll be tackling real soon. So what did I mess up here? So that's the idle. This one, and then I think I got those two correctly. Something seemed off when I was playing it. I have a crappy third-person controller involved. Guess looks like I actually used the wrong one because you're supposed to use the middle one. It sucks that it's not actually named, that the animations are not named, so I'm not really sure which ones to use and which ones to use. But I guess I need to use this one for it to seem. There we go. Okay, so we'll just leave it like that. And my horizontal movement should slow down a little. Vertical movement should slow down a little bit. But okay, so that's what we're gonna start with. And what's next? You can increase the frame timing to slow down the animation, I think. Yes, I couldn't find that option for some reason. I thought it was somewhere right here, but I can't seem to find it. Or maybe because it's minimized. Yeah, I remember it being right here. For some reason I can't find it. Okay, I'll have to look where it went. Okay, so let's make something. Let's make something. So what should we do? What mechanic should we add now? Should we just add some boxes that we can move around or something like that? Or something more exciting than that? Put the next sprite in a different slot. Well, if you do that, then the last frame is only one frame length. So you will have this frame for three frames, and then the last frame is gonna be only. I mean, you can duplicate it and stuff like that, but I can just to slow down. I can just slow down the speed of the animation inside the animator. So, for instance, for currently my forward speed is 0.1, so to slow down I can half that, and my back speed, I think I wanted to slow down as well, so I can set it to like 1. But technically, since they're all 2-frame animations, I was supposed to just have the same speed on all of them, but I guess the back, there's not that much movement, and yeah, I think the other speed probably looked better. Just set it back to what I had before. Maybe 0.8 for forward. Breaking bush. That's a good one. Okay, let's do that. First good idea I get. Been asking for some time already. Let's add breaking bush. So I'll use, let's see, I have multiple bush colors, and you can choose which one gonna look better for the tiles that I've used. Sprite, apply, okay, sprite 64. So they're all 64, so let's keep it at that. Apply. And let's see which one looks better. Okay, I'll move the tile, the background into the background so that, okay, that one disappears. Okay, I need to block some things. So I think I'm gonna go with this one right there, the orange one. Let's go with this one, not the fall colors. I'm gonna show where can you find your jump super unit accessory. Thank you for working, by the way, helps a lot. So the jump super unit is one of my. There's a link in description for the package where you can find it. Unless you already have the package. But there seems to be a shop. Okay. So there's a link in description. I can post the link, by the way. So it's a package that I'm working on, and that's where this game is gonna go there as well. Or never mind, there in the game kits, I suppose. Yeah. So it's in. I'll leave a link right there. But yeah, it's the game kit. I decided to just call it a collection, Smart Penguins Visual Scripting Unit Collection. Just, I mean, that's basically what it is. So, okay, so we're gonna use this bush right here, and we're making changes in the game. Okay, so where did my bush go? I don't have any hit animations though, but we'll think of something. So let's add a box collider for this. For our character. And also a rigid body 2D. Make sure we have gravity turned off and freeze Z rotation. For the bush, let's add a box collider as well. And let's see how it looks, how it looks and works. Okay, so the collision shapes are a little bit too big. You need to be able to get closer to that bush. Let's fix that. And sure I hold Alt down to make it symmetrical. And this one, probably want it a little bit lower. Okay, now for our character. So also decrease. Something like that. Let's see how that's gonna work. Character animation event has no function name specified. Okay. So we need to fix the, okay. So for fixing that centering, or I guess for the animation to go in the back, what I'm going to do is switch to bottom. Oh, it's just bottom. Okay, so it's going to be bottom middle. Click apply. And I think I'll have to switch the collision shape now for it as well. Actually, no, I didn't have to do that. I forgot. So apply. So I can leave it at center. That's right. So this one, that's the position where it's going to be at. And let's see. And what I want to switch is actually the sprite sort point. Instead of center, oh, it's pivot. So I need to change the pivot, which still uses, okay. So I have to, never mind, I still have to change the pivot position of the objects. I thought I could have avoided that, but it looks like I still have to change the pivot positions. If they had a sprint sort point and an option for bottom, then that would work, but that's not an option, unfortunately. So also I have to do the same thing for the character as well. So for the pivot point, I need to move it to the bottom. And well, the bottom is a little bit too low. Technically, I need it to be at the feet of our character. But okay, bottom will be good for now. And then since I want to sort it in the Y axis, I will go to project settings. Then for graphics, I want to switch transparency sort mode from default to custom axis, and I want to use not Z, I want to use Y, and I think it's positive Y. Let's see. So that's how, I mean, you can do sorting with by changing the sorting layer and write the script for that. But one way you can do it is by. So that seems like we're still off. Okay, well, my collision shape is off. Let's go fix that. And I have not switched it to pivot. Do you simulate a jump this type of game? How do you simulate a jump? Yeah, the jump is kind of hard to do it when you're in this mode because you're okay, there we go. Because all you're doing is basically for a jump is changing the Y, like you're just moving it up. So the best way to do a jump is actually with if you have an animation, and to show that the character is actually jumping, you need to have a shadow underneath your character. That way, that when the player detaches from the shadow, it actually visually looks like you're jumping. But I don't have that type of animations here. So there we go. He can stand in front of the bush, which he covers, and then if he goes in the back of the bush, he's hiding behind the bush. So that's how I go about setting up the sorting order. So they need to be, for it to work like that, both the bush and character need to be on the same order layer. And if you have it set up like that, you can make it work like that. If you start making multiple levels of I guess where the character can walk and stuff, you do need to switch to different layers and turn off some collisions. So the more complicated of terrain you make. So it is, yeah, it's easier to use the 2.5D. That way you move in 3D space and you can just move your character around. And imagine that if you really want to have jump as a consistent mechanic, 2.5D might be more viable. Yeah, if you just use the 3D space, you can make it much. I mean, you don't even have to use the 3D models for 2.5D. You can use the animations, the 2D animations as well, but definitely making it in just using a 3D character and just switching to 2.5D, so you still have the camera in orthographic view, and it's just at one point. That would make much easier. That's the route I would actually go if I would want to add jumping or multiple levels. I would actually just go and with using a 3D space like 2.5D and a 3D character as well. Much easier that way. But since we're doing 2D right now, I think this is the last one that I have for 2D, the type of game for 2D, and then I'll actually gonna be switching for 3D. So that's exciting. Next week, hopefully, gonna be starting doing 3D stuff. Yeah, player jump over the bush from left to right. So you can, I guess, simulate a jump. Let me see. So you can like fake that a character is jumping and just disabling the collision and moving him, and just have like an animation script or coroutine that runs that moves the character 1 unit. So just jumping over 1 unit. That's an option, but at this point you're just doing something to make the player believe that they are actually jumping. So it's all about the visual effects. If you can make a believable movement, however you make it, it doesn't really matter, because yeah, there is no sense of ground. So currently I have gravity turned off on this character, because if I turn on gravity, the gravity is affecting in the Y direction, which is just gonna make the character drop down. So there isn't a third axis that I can use for the for the gravity. So, and if you want to simulate a jump in this kind of environment, you kind of have to just do some kind of animation, which is what I did for let me try to pull that up, which is what I did for the simulation of throwing an object in the Zelda tutorial that was mentioned a little bit earlier. So let me try to pull that up. So right here, so you can pick up the pot, and then one of the options was actually to I added that you can throw that pot. So didn't really work that much with that animation, but you can see that it's just, instead of just placing it down, it kind of flies of sorts, some sorts. He can see this. He can see this. Hello, it's live, of course. I want on now, and he reads. Yeah, I am reading the chat. So cool. How can I make a UI stable? What do you mean by UI stable? How can you make UI stable? Let me actually try that out, like that. Let me try one of that mechanic. So the first mechanic request was actually destroying that bush. So that's gonna be one, and let's try to make the character jump. This will require to simulate gravity of some sorts, and since we're not really looking directly side, it's not gonna be exactly like that, but sure, let me take that as a challenge and make it happen. So for the jump to happen, so yeah, in this case it would be helpful to use a state machine, but I'll just make it a little bit like it's gonna just jump in one direction right now. So just to show that that is possible. So I'll do that with a let's make a custom event, or let's see, on keyboard input, on keyboard input, and I'll just use space. I'll switch this coroutine so I can use, and I'll also use a once to make sure that until the animation is done you can't trigger it again, otherwise we're gonna get some issues. And now we need to do that animation. So the position, I'm just going to be moving it 1 unit, well actually 2 units, so I'm jumping over 2 units. So the transition will be so I guess the first thing I need to disable the box collider. So box collider, and let's see, set enabled, and I want to disable it. After I disable the box collider, I can make the for loop. We'll animate for let's do 120 frames. That might be still too fast. I don't know what the game frame rate is going to be running at, but let's just use 120 frames. And on each animation, I'm just gonna have a, well, no, I'll do the weight is gonna be the last thing, but right now I'll transform, translate. Transform, translate. For now, let's translate so 2 units, and I have to, okay, I'll just do the math here. So I'll have to get a float literal. It's gonna be 2 units that we're moving in one direction, and then I need to divide it by the amount of frames that we're gonna be moving across, which is 120. And let me actually not use that one. So transform, translate, and I'll use this one instead. That way I can pass in specifically the X, and I'll be moving, yeah, okay. So this, and then I'll wait for frames. So wait, where's my wait? Let's go to the time and wait while until. So I'll wait for next frame. Think. So this should move across just 2 units in the x-axis. Where are you coming back? Where are you? Where are you coming back to Buildbox? Buildbox community is missing you. Sorry to ask, but I have work. I have to work. Can't watch it right now. Will this be uploaded? Yes, I'll leave that. If it's not gonna be on the YouTube channel, you can check on Discord for the link. So right here you can see that. Okay, and I never enabled the box glider back, but right here you can see that that animation, and then reset it. Okay, so let's go fix those issues. Issues. So right after we're done with the for loop, we set the box glider back, and then I want to reset the ones so we can actually jump again. So, and in here you can see that it does move 2 units across, and I'm just doing the x-axis right now. We'll do the y-axis in a little bit. So that's a transition in and our collisions back on and stuff like that. So that's an animation, I guess, in the x-axis, and now we can do y. Now the y is a little bit different, a little bit more complicated in the sense that we actually have to go up and then we need to go down. So, and to make it look, sorry, to make it look more realistic, you would want to simulate gravity, which is possible. But we will need a variable. Let's see if I can actually use a flow variable. Actually, I don't. I try to avoid using the flow variables because the flow variables are their scope is kind of weird in a sense that any super unit can actually access this flow variable as well. But let's see if I can use it here while technically I'm in the same flow. So, but flow variable, and I want to set a flow variable. So this is going to be our velocity. Just leave it as v before we enter the for loop. And for the value, let's say our velocity, jump velocity, I don't know what the value is going to have to be, but I'll start with 4. 4 is going to be our velocity. And then in here for y, we'll need to get per second value and per second. This is going to convert to by using that the time delta time. So that if you pass any value here, it's actually going to multiply by 10 delta time. So you don't have to worry about that. But what we're looking for is using, so I'm just going to use actually get. Let's use the get variable flow, get flow variable right there. V, pass that in, get delta time, and this is going to be what we're going to use, but let's also add gravity. So the gravity is going to use long one. Okay, for gravity we're going to take this variable and then we need to subtract. We'll actually add, because gravity is negative, so let's add a scalar. For scalar we'll need a per second unit, and for per second is going to be the gravity, which is -9. Let's just use the actual gravity, 9.8 per second. That's going to add that together. By the way, one quick note: if you're currently using Unity 2020 or 2019, they actually replaced in Visual Scripting of 2021. They replaced the add node with using the sum node, sum unit. So you might want to start using these instead, because basically if you import any graphs from here, they're gonna mention that this node was deprecated. So just a quick side note, I guess. Use a sum node instead of an add node, and it's gonna make it easier to migrate to the new version. So this should, I think I didn't mess anything up, but this should be doing the gravity work. We start at 4, velocity of 4, and then use that velocity to move our character, and then this is going to be calculating the velocity of us falling down. Now the timing, I didn't calculate any time. I mean, you can calculate the timing, how much speed you need to have to move 2 units across, but currently there's a problem with that because I'm using frames, 120 frames to So you can see that when I jump over, he kind of ends up a little bit higher. And it's because my speed is too slow. But I think we can increase the gravity also to correct for that. Well, not too slow. My speed was fast, and the gravity didn't decrease it too fast enough for me to go down. So let's increase the gravity. Let's double it. Doubling might be too much. Let's do 15, negative 15. Okay, how I can make inventory open and close. You can just use an I. For inventory, usually I think they use an I key. And okay, so you can see like that's how you can simulate a jump over a bush. And my gravity is a little bit too fast now, so we can let's do 13. Yeah, so inventory, you can just use a I on the keyboard if you're using the keyboard. You just set the UI active or inactive game object. That's pretty straightforward. So that's basically what I mean by like actually simulating a jump in. So here is our character jumping and then jump into the water. So, okay, and now let's go and try to make something with the bush. So let's go destroy that bush. So I'm currently using space for jump. So let's switch to something else, because I think space... Actually, yes, space is used for jump. So let's use a mouse click for an attack. Cool jump. Just need to shadows. Yeah. So now you just need the shadows for it to simulate. But now for the shadows, how I would go about doing that? Like, since the shadow is just traveling on the ground, you just move it in the x-axis. So you just use the x-axis and ignore the y. So you kind of have to have a different script for the shadows than you have for the character. Okay, so we're gonna do on mouse down. Okay, so this one is actually looking for self. Called when the user has pressed the mouse button while over the... That's not what we're looking for. So I want on mouse. There should be... Okay, so I need to use the on mouse input. So this one is... It doesn't have to be... The mouse doesn't have to be over an object to actually trigger. So this is the one that I need, because I just... If the mouse is anywhere and you click the left... Yeah, we're going to use the left. Down, then we're going to trigger a attack. Now, what should we do for attack? What type of attack we're gonna do? Get a weapon first before destroying the bush. get a weapon. Let's see if we can find a weapon somewhere. Let's see what we can find for a weapon. Okay, so back to our assets, our canny assets, and 2D. Let's see if we has any weapons here. Yeah, we can probably use something of this. We got an axe here. Or we can go Minecraft style. It has a sword here. We have options, that's good, that's good. Let's go with the Minecraft. What do you guys think? Minecraft style? Yep. Minecraft style it is. Minecraft style it is. No? What else? What should we use instead? The other ones, they were like icons. So I just need, I guess, a sword or something. Or a shovel, since we're gonna be digging out that bush to replant it somewhere else. When I make a slot disable, the slot is not working. Okay, disables. Oh, I missed. Looks like I missed. I missed something. Okay, so how can I make the inventory open and close? When I make slot disable, the slot is not work. What do you mean? What do you mean slot disabled? Okay, so let's add those. I'm just gonna use the bronze right now. Sprite. I'll get a sword and a shovel. Okay, so let's add that in. Okay. What is the resolution? 128. So let's make sure we set it to 128. I think I want to go make it smaller than 1 unit size. 256 is going to be probably too small. Yeah, let's just use 200. Okay, so we have a shovel, we have a sword, so let's add an animation for our sword. Currently, I have the character set up to always go into idle facing forward, so I'm just going to use that for now, because I can go and make it. Let's see. $170, 270. Okay. So I'm trying to make the animation for the sword right now. On mouse input. So this one is going to be a coroutine. Also going to do once. Similar as what I did before. Let's add a for loop. Yeah, let's just do 120 frames and yeah, there's going to be some more work that we're going to do with we'll have to do to animate it to go to with the same direction that we're going. I can't break anything because no item slot. Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're talking about. Did you post a question on Discord? Because I'm kind of I don't know about that. There's a problem. Okay, so let's get that animation. What I'm going to be animating here is the rotation. And I do have a set rotation that I want to animate between. So rotate axis. Rotate. Set rotation. I'm going to use a lerp and just use a vector 3 lerp. So I'll be going from 170 to 270, and the time, the t time is going to be just the index divided by 120. So, but that's going to just go in one direction. We'll get to that in a little bit, and then I need to convert it to quaternion. So quaternion Euler. There we go. Pass that in. Not that one. Let's try it again. Quaternion, Euler, and passing the Euler. Okay. After we do that, I need to wait until for next frame. So let's try that out. So now if I click, it should animate. Okay. That's pretty slow. That is pretty slow. Make sure we reset that, and the animation, let's make sure that it goes back and forth. So I'll divide it by 60, which is going to give me 2, and then subtract scalar 1, and then I want to do absolute ABS. This is gonna make that I should make it go back and front. So the starting angle, let's set it to 170, and let's see if that's gonna work. Should it go back and forth just one cycle? Probably still gonna be too slow, but let's see. I have the angles. Okay, I connected the reset at the wrong place. It's supposed to be on exit, and disable this one. Okay. So let's decrease it to 50 frames. and start 270 to 170. Okay, so the stream is already... The stream went on for 2 hours, so I'll try to get the sword, picking up the sword, and then I think we'll be done for this stream. So if you guys have any quick questions, you can ask those. Okay, so let's use E to pick up that sword. Or let's actually make it easier and just do on trigger right now. So if you just walk to it, it's gonna pick it up. And this is gonna be, do I have some tags that I can use? Sword tags. Let's do item. Let's add another tag. It's gonna be item, and let's connect that item to our sword. And now in my character, what is going on here? How come out with the solution that fast? How you come out with a solution that's amazing. Yeah, I guess when you're doing live stream, you just there's no choice. You don't have time to think, so you just go with something that. So yeah, I guess the suggestions do live streams, and then you'll practice your making solutions fast. Is it possible to make a multiplayer game using Bolt? Yes, it is, and actually, I'll drop a link to some tutorials actually that there is a script that you have to do. So there's I think 2 videos that I did. One was when I was trying to make the Among Us game thing, and the other one was a top-down tank game. So I used Photon for that. So I did cover a little bit more in the, so there's the 2 links. I did cover a little bit more in the Among Us game, because I actually used the RPC, so the remote protocol, which is something that you need to do if you're actually going to be making the game. That way you can communicate. But yeah, it is possible. There is a little bit of script that you need to add because of, I guess, the communication that the multiplayer packages do. So I did go and use the Photon for it. So Photon Pun, exactly. Because that one was a little bit easier in how it was made, and with the ability of connecting it to Bolt, to work with Bolt. Okay, so on trigger, when we collide, I'll just pick it up. When you streaming again, so what is, I'm not sure if I'll be able to stream next Saturday. I do have something that I have planned, but I think, yeah, I might be able to do it like for a short stream, but during the week, if I have some good ideas, and the next week is about yeah, so there's some ideas that I have for next week, so I'm not sure if during the week I'll do some streams, but definitely I'll try to do next Saturday for sure at the same time. I'll try to do this stream. I want to pop up which appears when I go near a signboard in 2D. Help me. So yeah, you can do the same approach that I'm doing right now. So you can do on trigger. I'm using the on trigger super unit, but if you look inside, it's actually all I'm doing here is, well, I have that support for tag, so you can use the tag, and the other thing that I have here is I check for untrigger enter and untrigger enter 2D, and also untrigger exit and exit 2D. So you can if you know exactly what you're using, you can just use those on triggers, and then the null the tag compare tag. But this just that's a common thing that I do, so I just have a super unit that is made for it. It works for thanks as well to make a multiplayer. It works for an RPG. Yeah, I think the package that the Photon, yeah, you can use RPG for it. I'm not sure about like if you, I guess all the data you won't use that package to. Maybe they do have an option for storing it on their servers, but you kind of have to store the data if you want to the game to be persistent, and you'll have to run a game on your server, and then use that as your master and save the data there, so that the next time people log in, they can continue where they left off. But yes, it is possible, I think, from what I've tried. Okay, so on enter, I want to pick up this item, and I'll just do set parent. Okay, I'll set parent to self, attach that, and I'm not sure. What did I return for collider? It's just, it's actually a collider. So I think I need to get transform some component, get transform. I'm not sure if it's gonna work without this, but just to be safe, this will always make it happen. So set parent, and also I want to set actually it's a trigger, so we can just ignore it for now. Set parent and position. Yeah, I'm not going to touch the position right now, but let's go to our sword, add a box collider for it. Box collider 2D. Let's see what might gonna have to use a polygon collider for this one instead, but let's try it out, see what we're working. Yeah, let's remove this and use a polygon collider. So polygon collider, add it, and we don't really need that much details, so I think that will be good. That's good. Oops, deleted too much polygons there. Okay, so let's try to rough out the shape. Okay, I think that's good. That will do. That will do. Okay, so that's our collider, and I want it to be a trigger. So let's see like how it's gonna look when we try to pick it up, because it's just gonna stick to the character, I think. Inventory bar. When you make a video about inventory bar. So currently you can see that it gets stuck like that. Not really great. So probably want to have a position. So let's see what we have. So the pivot is right here. So let me try to position it at 0. I think that's the easiest thing that I can do. That's the easiest thing that I can do. Character, edit. So the what we're asking for, inventory bar. So the inventory bar is similar as inventory. I already said that, but I guess we can get to that with this one, actually, with the RPG game, that we can get to a point where we get the inventory and the inventory bar. But that one, I don't know, like that's gonna be a lot to do during the live stream, because if you just to make just a simple inventory, I guess I can do it in the live stream, but to actually build out a system, that's gonna be too much, and I think it's kind of I don't know, it's gonna be pretty boring, because it's a lot of architecture stuff more than actually like results that you can see. So for once I pick it up, I'll set the position. Set the position to 0, 0, but I'm not sure if that's going to be a local position. Set local. Can I do that? So positions that are relative to the parent. Okay, so let's use the local instead, because I just want to position it relative to the player. Let's see how that's going to look like. Look-alike. So yeah, that's not perfect at all. And for the sword, center at pivot, and actually no, I'm not gonna touch that. Okay, so I'll just leave it. I'll leave it be. I'll leave it be. 200, 230. Like that, and for it to not disappear underneath the player, I'll actually move it up move it down by 0.1, so that it's going to be always in front of the player. Will this be become free? Yeah, I really need to change the pivot to the handle instead of. I really need to do that, and okay, I'll do that. Sprite editor. So here's my pivot. So I'll move it right here. That's gonna help a lot, but I'll have to redo some things now. So for the shovel, because I changed the pivot, now I need to change the polygon. So, like I mentioned already about will this be free? Currently, it's in an early access version. So I don't have it like I'm not gonna make any of it free, but later on maybe some light version of the whole package after the release. I'll make it so that you can test it out or something like that. But yeah. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Okay, so still now I need to move it back up, and to avoid that whole center pivot, I'll do pivot, and to avoid the whole problem that we're having right now, I'll just set the layer to 1, so it's going to be above the character, but it's going to be above the bush as well, which is I guess it's fine. It will be fine for now. More likely the cost will increase. Yes, so with the cost, what I decided, like the more stuff that I add, more units I add, the more systems that I add to the package, I'll be increasing the cost. So that's just, so the early supporters, they're gonna get the best, I guess, best deal. But then they're the ones that are putting more trust into me, you know. Can you make a video how to make vote in Unity for Among Us? Okay, I just moved that thing up like really high. Maybe I should first test it out before I do that. I'm playing a guessing game here, so I want it to be positioned right here. So 0.28. So I don't know if I kind of stopped that Among Us series because the interest to it was kind of dropped, and there was not that much people that showed that much interest in it. I think I had like 5 people that were actually watching it for a couple minutes or something like that, but I don't know. Sometimes you have to stop some series because there isn't enough interest as you expect or as you hope, because those tutorials take a while to make. I do spend a lot of time on my tutorials. Hello. You have tested new Among Us map? No, I have not tested a new Among Us map. really busy with this. Can you make a video about how to make voting? What was that? Oh, I clicked the mouse. Okay, so that's better. Probably want to increase the speed a little bit faster because it's still too slow, but let's continue doing that. So what I want to do now is add some life to bush. Add some life to the bush, and I do. So flow machine. I do have a health system of some sort that I think I used. So HP. So let's require 3 hits for it to do anything. Will require 3 hits for this bush. And now for our shovel, we can go inside here. Not shovel, but our sword. And in here, I'll add on trigger. And let's just leave on trigger for anything. In the other unit for health, I think I have is the hit, and this one needs the game object. So component get game object, component get game object of the item that we're trying to hit, and subtract 1 hit point. That's fine. Trigger hit. And one more thing that I want to do is currently currently I have the trigger turned on at all times, and I actually want to only turn it on some box collider. Well, not box collider, we're using polygon collider, so polygon collider to D, and set distance, set enable. Where's my enable? So turn it on here, and then after we're done, I want to turn it off. So something like that. I also need to turn it off when I pick it up, but for now let's just leave it like that and see if that's going to do anything. Now for the bush, let me see. I need to add, I already have a box collider, and it is a collider. And now, so I can do something when it's changed, so some kind of animation, we can do that. And then I also can do something when it's dead. If it's dead, I'll just remove it. Remove. 0 seconds. Okay, let's test it out and see if that's gonna work. Okay, what do we have in the chat? You have tested the new, okay, hello, new. No, I have not tested the new map. I already said that. Okay, do a 3D, do a 3D third person God of War. Getting more views. Yes, okay, I just messed that up because I clicked before I picked it up. I see this is live. Yes, this is live. Okay, so let's try it out. So we come to the bush, we hit once, twice, and 3 times, and that bush is gone. So that's destroying a bush, and then, I mean, we can make some animations in it. Probably be better with using some shader graph animations or something like that, but you can make some shaking animations, which, yeah, I need to add some visual effects to, so I can use them for, so this, I'll do that maybe today. But I think I'm kind of tired already with the live stream. 2.5 hours of talking nonstop. I think so, I'm losing my energy now. But so I think that will be it for this live stream. And I'll, as like I said, the next live stream is gonna be on Saturday. Well, the next planned live stream is gonna be on Saturday. Hopefully that stream is gonna be already on 3D. Maybe I'll show what's gonna be new with the RPG, because I'm gonna be working on it next week, and probably today some more. And I'll put this, I'll add this project also to 12 a.m. See you guys. Thanks, Mr. Okay. Yeah. Have a good night. Sleep. And yeah, I'll add this project, the updates that I have here to the package. So update that package, and yep, we'll be getting more demos. I mean, one more demo to that package, and I'll actually provide, since I use the health unit here, I'll add those units as well. There is still currently I don't have categories for it, so I'm actually thinking of breaking these folders into categories that so those units were going to be in category folders, but I'm not sure if it's that much helpful, because usually when I use the units I just search for them. So I'm thinking of actually creating the commutation of all the list of units and put them in categories. That I think that will be more helpful when you have a list of units and categories. You can look into reference and see what's available and how to use that. But yeah, that was the plan for the next week. Actually, the documentation portion of it, get something out for the package, so you could have more helpful tools to start using it. Okay, so thanks for stopping by and enjoying the live stream. See you in the next one.